Hey guys. Okay, so I did promise you that I would come back. I know it's been a little bit less than 20 minutes, but I just got everything ready. So we're going to be using Santa Cruz Organic Creamy Peanut Butter. I know everything is backwards, but that's because, you know, I got everything kind of, I'm facing, I can see the camera. So, I need to see what it looks like, you know what I mean? So, let's put my hair back. And watch this. You ready? There's Evelyn right there. What? So, hold on. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cook dessert because to me, dessert is like, I have to have dessert. So, you know, with me, being the way I am, I really don't want any processed foods. And I don't want any excess sugar. I mean, that's unnecessary. Why do we put sugar in everything? We really don't have sugar here. And the sugar that we have here at the house are in little packets. And that's it. That's what you get. You want one or two. That's it. And it lasts so long that I don't even know. Does sugar have an expiration date? Probably. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a really cool dessert. I learned this dessert online. Oh, look at that. That's getting everywhere. I learned this dessert online. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some all-purpose organic flour. It's organic, of course. We have some really super ripe bananas. See that? That is like so ripe that you can't even eat those. Perfect. We're going to take the peanut butter. I want to make sure that, because this separates, the oil is in there, and I want to make sure that this, and we're going to take some cacao, and we're going to make some brownies. That's right, I'm making brownies. I have my meat already. Everything is over to the side. I'm going to turn, I even have my basil. I love basil. I'm going to turn my oven on and preheat this at 325. The reason being, because there's going to be a lot of stuff going in the oven today, like the sweet potato fries. And then we have our dessert that's going to be so delicious. So I'm going to show you how to do this dessert. And again, like I said, my mom and I, we used to come in this kitchen, we used to cook and make these big meals like fish, and mom loved to cook and she had her own cooking show. And so I figured we keep the tradition alive, right? Why not? Let's go ahead and cook, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get my my bowl. This is one of my favorite bowls here. And we're going to start mixing the ingredients in here. Now, I'm going to make a bigger batch of the brownies today, only because the brownies go really, really fast. And they're really easy. If you don't have time today to watch, you can always come back to this video. It will be up for the next 30 days. And I will download this video and put it out there for you guys. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take, this is a mess already. You're going to take those disgusting bananas. They're super sweet right now. And I let them go bad on purpose. So we're going to take all of these. All of them. We're going to take this plastic off carefully. And you can see that everything that I'm making today is from scratch. And it's not very hard to do. There is a lady that's really trending right now. Her name is Nora. Everybody is going at her, but she is... Literally speaking, I absolutely love her. I love the fact that she's making all of these things for her children, for her family from scratch. Sometimes she does go out. I'm not really sure how many times she goes out, but whatever she does is perfect. Look at that banana. Look at that. The shell itself, you can actually use the shell. You can take it and put it on your skin, and it actually literally helps you to get rid of wrinkles and things like that. So it's really good. Hello. So, I'm going to bring my island a little bit closer to me so I have that island there. So we're going to go ahead and just peel all of these disgustingly nasty bananas that are so good for the recipe that I learned online for the brownies. Now these brownies have no eggs in them, so if you don't eat eggs, you're trying to look how perfect that banana is. And again, look at that. It's perfect. So we're gonna get all of the bananas. I know it's a lot. It's a lot. It's gonna be a big, huge batch of brownies today. And so the way I make my brownies, I just make a brownie loaf, and then you can, you know, split it up however you like it. These bananas are so perfect for that. You don't have to have no sugar. You don't need to put no extra sugar in there at all. All you need are these bananas. This is so very good. And you know what? I know people, oh, look at the black spot. That's the best part of the banana, is that little black part. That black part right there is so super sweet. That's why you don't have to have any sugar at all. You just don't have to add any sugar at all. So we're gonna peel all of these bananas and put them in the bowl. I love this bowl because I got it from Timo, but it has a handle. It's supposed to go with it's supposed to be a bowl for the what is that food processor thingy that I don't have, because it's $400 and I'm not spending $400 on a little thing that actually does what I can do. Or if I have a handle one, I'll use the handle one. So this one has a little bit more black on it. That's fine. Perfect. All right, perfect. And we're gonna go ahead and take our last banana. And my husband's probably gonna be looking at this video going, that is just way too many bananas. But I'm making a very big batch. Usually I only use 4 bananas, and we make a small batch, and it lasts about 3 days. Hello, Kimmy, how you doing? All right, so hands are dirty. We're gonna go ahead and just get this towel. And again, I do have paper towels. My mother was the queen of paper towels. I call her the queen of paper towels because everything she got paper towels. And every time I got one of these, and I just wash it over again and use it again. So she was like, you don't like paper towels, do you? No, I don't like wasting money on paper towels. All right, so we got all of these bananas. It's just all right, we're gonna mash these. Give me a second, let me get a fork. And I'm a little bit more animated than my mother. Good, that's really heating up really nice. I'm more animated than my mother. My mom was really sweet and nice and girly. I've always been more of like a tomboy or just rough, you know. I grew up as, well, my mother only had me. But my father had other children. Hey, Mark, Timothy. And then I have Kathy, who passed away a couple of years ago. That was one of my older sisters. There's Kenneth, my brother. Hey, Kenny. And then there's Trish. Hey, Trish. And I have my nieces and nephews on my father's side of the family. But my mother, I was the only child. She couldn't have any more children. As a matter of fact, she didn't even think that she could have me, because they told her that she would not have children because of an accident she had when she was young. She got hit by a car, and it really messed up her pelvic bone, and it messed up everything. I'm great. How are you? I missed the beginning. What are you making? I'm making brownies. Yes, I'm making brownies. So the brownies are really bad bananas. Okay, so as you can see, I'm mashing those bananas up, and I'm gonna make, and they come out so good. I mean, no eggs, no sugar, no dairy, no nothing. If that's something that you're really into, or you're trying to be into, or that you just kind of want to cut down on all of that other stuff, and maybe even cut down on using the brownie mix that they have at the store, those boxes that they have, and you just want to, you know, do your own little thing, this is perfect. It works so good. And I remember when I first made these, they went so fast. They're so good. So what I've done is, and if you have a nut allergy, you can always substitute like the peanut butter for something different. But the whole basis of it is the bananas and the cacao powder, which is going to make it so that this is cacao. It's pure cacao powder. It's no sugar in there, and you gotta be careful because it is powdery, and it will come back up at your face. Take my advice, because it happened to me. So when you do this, make sure that you're like putting it in and then folding it in on the bananas. Don't like stir it in, because the way they say fold it in, they mean because it's powder, it's gonna go right back in your face. So you're gonna take it and you're just gonna fold it. You're gonna fold it in on the bananas. So make sure you're folding the bananas over it to give it some moisture so that it doesn't poof back up at you. And now I'm folding it because I know that my face was full of cacao powder the first time I did this, okay? Isn't that amazing? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, I know. Mom and I, we cooked a lot together. She's got some cooking shows. I'm going to find them. And me and her, and my whole thing was, whenever she cooked, I wanted to taste everything. Literally, my mom, she can make things, oh my gosh, she cooked so good that it's like ramen noodles. She made a whole meal out of ramen noodles. You kidding me? I mean, it was wonderful. Hi, hey, Rebinson. So, Mom did a bunch of different cooking. So, okay, so there's the bananas mixed in with the cacao powder. Okay, and remember, cacao powder has no sugar in it. It has no preservatives. It's all vegan, all natural. It's organic. It's just cacao powder. Okay, so that's what you want. You don't want no sugar. You don't want no. You don't want any, what is that, Hershey's chocolate? Don't get none of that. That stuff is bad for you. Don't get any of that stuff. Just get pure cacao powder. That's it. I'm going to put a little bit more because I did a lot. Remember, I did a few more bananas than normal. And we're going to go ahead and just see how that's powder. Oh my gosh, powder. The powder is just coming back at me. Oof. All right. All right, I'm going to put that over there. All right. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and take a few of these buns. Now, this is Dave's Killer Bread, and it's like almost 100 on the Yuka scale. And if you don't know what Yuka is, it's Y-U-K-A. It is actually the app I use to tell me if there's any preservatives in my food, if there are any chemicals that are toxic in my food. And if it is, it'll show you. It'll be like red. Toxic causes cancer. It's like, okay, you don't want to do that. Today I had to wait for this to kind of settle down. Today I went to Sprouts to pick up a lot of the ingredients that I needed for today's cooking episode, and which was really good. And I found I had to get some sunscreen. Get the baby sunscreen, guys. That works just as good. Freaking flies. Get the baby sunscreen. That works just as good. And usually those are like 90 and above, which is really good. The only thing that's going to cause it to be less than 100 on the Yuka scale is going to be the fact that it has zinc. And that should be the only reason. I scanned some sunscreens that were zero. Like zero. You should never use a zero sunscreen. I missed something. What are you making? I am making brownies with no eggs, no sugar, no dairy whatsoever. So it's all of the really bad bananas, the ones that look like this on the outside. You see that? I got all of those bad bananas, and I put them in a bowl, and then I put some cacao powder in there, and we're mixing it up. I'm going to go ahead and take a minute and put my buns for the burgers I'm making in the oven because they're frozen. And I always use, either I make my own bread or I use Dave's Killer Bread only because, first of all, it's kosher, okay? And second of all, excuse me, it doesn't have any preservatives in it. It's organic and it's really good for me. Okay, so we got the bananas here with cacao powder. Look at that. That looks so good, right? Isn't that amazing how, look at how the bananas look. That's why you got to wait for them to get like, super, super brown. So we're going to take the unbleached organic powder. Now, because I'm making a bigger batch, I'm going to go ahead and put in a little bit more of this, but I don't put a lot of this in. The reason I put it in is because when you don't put it in, the actual brownies come out a little mushy, and I really like that bread, a little bit more of a bread consistency for my brownies. And so I'm going to just add a little bit of unbleached all-purpose flour, okay? So you can use this for anything, all-purpose flour. So let me get my cup. So because I'm doing a little bit more today, I'm going to do maybe a half a cup of flour and see what that looks like. We're going to fold that in on top of the bananas. We're going to fold it in so that it doesn't kind of powder back at me in my face. And then I'll have like a nice little flour face, because that happened to me before too. So I'm folding this in. So you don't want it to be too thick. So I think that half a cup was perfect, because that's going to give it some bread consistency, but still give it that mushy kind of brownie feel that you want. So look at that. That looks really good. And again, if you have a nut allergy, you want to go ahead and substitute the peanuts for something different. I wanted a peanut butter brownie. You can just go ahead and stop there and cook these, and it'll be banana brownies. You can also put walnuts in these as well, which is what I'm getting ready to do. I'm going to crush some nuts and put them in there. You can put some crushed almonds in there. I love almond slices in mine too. So if I don't have the walnuts, then I'll go ahead and do the slices. Hi, Doug. Doug went to school with me. What's up? So we're doing that. And again, this is because in tradition in my family, with me and my mother at least, we used to cook all the time. And she had her cooking show, and I just feel like it's missing, it's missing. So I'm going to just do this from time to time whenever, because that's what we did. We never really had a day. We had a day when we would go out, like Sundays. But it was, and it's kind of ironic that she kind of passed on a Sunday. Just saying. So so this is the banana brownie with no dairy, no eggs. Okay, no sugar. All right, so really bad bananas, cacao powder, and a half a cup of the unbleached all-purpose flour, which I got here. And the cacao powder, this is the one I use right here. I'm sorry everything is backwards, but I'm looking at the camera, okay? This is amazing. I definitely need this recipe. My son and grandson cannot eat dairy or sugar. They will be super happy. Yeah, that's the one thing about this household, is that some people, we don't drink milk here, okay? But I do have eggs and cheese. And from time to time, I love cheese, but I get the really, really sharp cheese because I really don't like a lot of sharp cheese, which keeps me from eating a lot of cheese. Eggs. Eggs last a long time here. So, but I wanted something that really everybody could eat. Even if you liked eggs or you don't like eggs, you want eggs or you don't want eggs, it doesn't matter. You will love this. So I'm glad that, I'm glad about this. I'm happy. So I'm letting it sit because I really want it to get like a little bit mushy. Now you're going to have chunks of bananas. Don't worry about that because it really does make sure the flavor is really good in there. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this brand new Santa Cruz organic peanut butter that I use. And it rates almost 100 on the Yuka scale, Y-U-K-A. And no, they did not promote this video. I'm not getting paid for this. This is just something I'm doing because Mom and I used to do this. I'm going to be here for a while. I'm going to cook my whole meal from the dessert, which I'm making first because, it has to cool down so that after the, lunch, I can have my dessert. Hello! And then I'm going to make some sweet potato fries and some burgers with the Steve's Killer Bread. So, and also some real basil. You should go ahead and get yourself some real basil. Even if you just use this, it's $3.99. You can also plant it and put it in a windowsill, and it'll keep growing and growing and growing. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, okay? So, hi, Anthony. All right, so we're going to go ahead and shake this up. Now, with this, I'm going to use half of this bottle. The other half of the bottle, I'm going to make some peanut butter peanut butter cacao cookies. And I'm going to use monk fruit for that. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to put this back in the freezer because we don't eat a lot of bread here. And I cook my bread most of the time. So I got a bread maker. Mom had a really big one. So I got my mother's bread maker over there. And I can show it to you. It's over there in the corner over there. You see that big old machine? That's Mom's old bread maker. And excuse my kitchen, I haven't finished painting the cabinets yet. So, all right, so let's go ahead and let's get this nice peanut butter. It's still got the oil. So let me go ahead and stir this. So I'm going to stir the peanut butter. I mean, I really don't need to stir it too much. I just kind of make indentations. It's got some natural oils to it because it does separate. If you like the no stir, you can get that. I kind of like that it has the oil in it. And now I don't stir it all the way. I just kind of make my indentations so that the oil kind of, see how it's getting easier for me to kind of, I don't know if you can tell, it's getting easier for me to push the spoon down. So you just take your time. You know, cooking from scratch is something most people don't do anymore because everything is already made for you. But I want to challenge you guys today to literally go ahead and get the YUKA app, Yuka, and start scanning your food products. You will find that the reason that cancer, the reason that, kidney stones and, diseases and all kinds of different things are so prevalent is because we've stopped cooking our own food and rely on machines and additives and preservatives to cook our foods. Cancer right now is on a high among our young 20s and 30-year-olds. And I think that we can, be careful about what we put in our bodies. And you know who brought me into this whole Yuka thing? My daughter. She told me about it. She said, Mom, you really need this app. It's going to tell you what you're eating and what you want to put in your body. She's very conscious of it. And I love that about her because, she's 22 years old, but yet she's doing, and then my kids, my son and his wife in Indiana, they are doing, so healthy and so good. I'm so proud of them. So, with Mom having only me, and I gave her 2 grandchildren, and now we have 3 amazing I have 3 grandchildren. She had 3 great-grands that she literally met before she left this earth. It was wonderful. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, so now that I have this, I kind of like the oil. So I'm going to leave a little bit of oil in here, and I'm just going to scoop out half of the jar. Okay, leave some oil for the cookies. There we go. I'm going to do half of the jar. I might do a full jar because I did more bananas than I thought I would. So I might do a full jar, but I'm going to leave it at that. And I can put this back in here because that's going to be for the cookies. But I don't like it to be too peanut buttery. And this stuff really is. Like, you like peanut butter? It is peanut butter. So before I finish, let that sit for a second. I'm going to go ahead and get a plate. And get that bread out of there before it burns. This is nice and toasted now. All right, so the bread is ready. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of top it and put it in the refrigerator. So the bread is defrosted and ready to go. And I'm going to leave that oven on because we still have a few different things we're doing here. So you're just going to stir that peanut butter in, or whatever your alternative may be, inside of this entire mix. Now, it's starting to smell so good. So remember, it's really bad bananas. I mean, to the point where you're not going to eat them. So that you know, it might look like this. The outside may look like that. That's really super sugary, and you don't need to add sugar to anything that you use when you use those bananas. So make sure you're waiting for the bananas to get beyond eating, and then you put that in there. You're going to use some cacao powder. Make sure to fold it in, because if you don't, you're going to have cacao powder come back at you, okay? You're going to also use half a cup. It depends on how many, or maybe even a quarter cup of unbleached all-purpose flour. And then you're going to put in, you know, maybe like a half a jar to a quarter of a jar of organic peanut butter, creamy, not chunky. Okay, then you're going to stir that in. So it should look like this. Look at that. Doesn't that look like almost like those store-bought boxes of stuff that you get? And the only reason it's taking me so long to do it is because I'm doing other things. But usually I would have been finished already, had it already done, and it would have been in the oven, and I would have been moving on. But because I'm doing this, you know, and I'm doing it because, like I said, Mom and I used to cook, and she had her cooking show, and I just miss it. We were supposed to be finishing up a cooking show that she had, and she didn't like the way it came out, and we never did do it. Hey, Alize! And so, so we're doing that. So remember, bananas, really bad bananas, cacao powder, a quarter to a half a cup of all-purpose unbleached organic white flour, and whole wheat flour, whatever it is, arrowheads, and then some peanut butter. You're going to mix all that together, and it's going to make brownies, okay? But make sure you're mixing it together, because one time I did it, and I didn't mix it really good, and guess what I had? I had chunks of peanut butter. I was like... So make sure that you have all of that mixed in together really good. I say mix it with a fork, because that's what I do. I do have one of those mixer, you know, thingies that mixes everything, but I did that last time and it didn't get all the peanut butter chunks. So, hey Harper, hey Sierra, hi cousin. So good morning, Simeo, how you doing? All right, so we got that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a pie pan. I know that sounds funny, right? I'm going to get a pie pan. Hi, Denise. So I'm going to get a pie pan, and we're going to go ahead and put in some olive oil in that pie pan to make sure that we coat the actual pan itself. So my hands are clean. I'm just going to kind of put it in there and get it all around. And so we're doing our brownies. They have no sugar, no eggs, no dairy. And if you've missed this, you can go back and watch it a little later. We're gonna go ahead and pour in this beautiful batter that we made from really bad bananas, some cacao powder and stuff. And I usually will get a scooper. And the one thing that I love about this is because there are no eggs in it, if you do have kids that like to lick the bowl, they can lick the bowl. There's no raw anything in this. So there's no salmonella or anything that can be transferred over to your children while they lick the bowl. It is a wonderful thing. So you don't have to worry about any of that. That was one thing I worried about with my kids, because they really did love to lick the bowl. And so with this, you don't have to worry about them licking the bowl. So I get my little scooper, and I'm going to go ahead and just get the rest of this, because this is goodness right here. You can't leave this behind. You just can't leave this behind. This is goodness. Okay? And you're just going to go ahead and grab the rest of this. And get the rest of, look at all of that that's in there. Now, if you had kids, they would be getting all of that, right? But all of this goodness here, and you're just gonna go ahead and scoop that into your pie pan or into your loaf pan, whichever one you wanna do. Okay? And the rest can be for your kids if you want, if you have children or grandchildren. Okay? All right, so then now we have all of this goodness here in this pan. I'm gonna go ahead and scoop this off. Okay, this is just not coming off my hand. So you don't have to worry about that. There are no eggs. There are no eggs. No dairy. No worries. Okay? And so you're going to put this in the oven. Just like this. Look how beautiful this looks. This is bananas, cacao powder, a little bit of Arrowhead Meals, all-purpose flour, and peanut butter. That's it. And then there you go. You're gonna put this in the oven at 325. Because I like things to kind of take their time. So we're gonna put that in there. I'll move it in a minute because we do have to do the sweet potatoes. Grapefruit sparkling water, that's what that is. No sugar. All right, the second thing I want to do is just get this off of here. I'm gonna close this up because I'm gonna make the peanut butter cookies at another time. All right, second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and clean our potatoes, and then we're gonna cut them. And I have my my beautiful floating island because my kitchen's not big enough for an island. I'm kind of happy though because I don't want an island. Like literally, I don't want an island. Islands are huge, and I don't feel like cleaning an island. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna clean these up. I hate flies. You walk in the house and the fly comes right into the house. Don't you just hate that? I do. I hate that. I hate that we have flies. So, excuse me. You better leave. You better run. All right. I have a homemade spray that I made that actually kills these flies. So I will show you later on at another date how to make your own homemade fly spray. Just buy a bottle and spray the heck out of them. All right, so let me go ahead and before this gets super, super hot, let me move this because we got to do the sweet potatoes. So I have a oven that has air fry, and we're not going to put the air fry on right now. What we're going to do is go ahead and just peel these potatoes. If you're enjoying yourselves, please leave a comment. I can't eat that as is. I can eat that as is. Yes, you can. You can literally eat that as is. It is bananas, cacao powder, peanut butter, and a little, you don't even need to put in the flour if you're going to eat it as is. If you're going to use it as a pudding, you can always use it as a pudding. You can eat it as it is. Just don't add the flour. That's it. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It tastes amazing. Put it in the refrigerator. It lasts about 3 to 5 days, okay? Because remember, there's no preservatives. There's no additives. It's you adding it. And you can always add a little bit of vanilla to it. If you want vanilla flavoring, you can add that to it. Just if you're going to eat it as is, do not add the flour. That's it, okay? I always thought flour was considered raw. Well, yeah, it is raw. It is. But cook it. You know, if you're going to cook brownies, add a little bit of flour to it. But if you're not going to cook any brownies and you want to eat that raw, so it would be the cacao powder, the bananas, and the peanut butter, right? You can add a little bit of nuts, crushed nuts to that. So if you like the recipe, I'll put the recipe later because I'm doing this now, but I'll put the recipe later, okay? So, all right. Sweet potato fries. Most people do their sweet potato fries and they out of a bag. I don't trust these bags anymore. We're eating pollutants, we're eating all kinds of different things. I mean, I understand that there is no 100%. However, 99.9 is just as good, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and peel these daggone potatoes. Look how nice that comes out. All right, and I am all for sweet potato fries. I love purple potato fries too. If you've ever had purple sweet potatoes, those are good too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and peel all these off. Oops, I'll get that later. Cooking is a messy thing, and I absolutely love being messy. I don't like cleaning, but that's just the byproduct of doing what I love to do. All right, so there you go. There's one half of the potato. I'm going to get the other half now. So, you know, you can get your kids to help you. Like, I help my mom in the kitchen a lot. And I learned a lot, you know, about certain things. I wasn't very good at it because when mom was teaching me, she was just teaching me. I never really got the chance to actually do it. So she would do it. But now I'm doing it, and it's just so much better. This is why I like my little island here. You can get one of these at the store. All right. So, sorry. I'm online. Sorry. All right. I'm going to peel my second potato. All right. We're getting there. And, you know, you get a peeler like this. It is beautiful. I peel beets with this sucker. I peel potatoes, you know, any kind of potato, really. I love red potatoes. Roasted potatoes have too much starch in them. Did you know that if you have type 2 diabetes, or if you have sugar insulin resistance, you can literally cook your potatoes today and wait 24 hours, and then the starch will turn into a probiotic or prebiotic. It's one of them, and it won't spike your sugar. So if you're cooking potatoes today, let them sit for 24 or 48 hours, and then it becomes a probiotic or a prebiotic, and then you can eat it, no issues. Same thing with rice, okay? Same thing with rice. So all these things I learned because mom had a cooking show, and I wanted to be proficient and, you know, and come up with like little tidbits of things that, you know, most people don't know about the, you know, the product that she was cooking. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get enough. Ooh. Knives. We're going to get a cooking knife. I'm going to clean this off real quick. And, no, this is no good anymore. That's why I like the thing. So usually what I do with my sweet potatoes is I cut them in half. But these are so big that I'm going to cut them down the middle. Right? Cut this one down the middle. Then I'm going to cut it in half. As best that I can. this one in half too. The other one in half as well. And then this one down the middle as well. I like my sweet potatoes a little bit chunky because I don't like them too hard, and you know, so this is where I start kind of gauging the way I want my sweet potato fries to look. It's so easy to make sweet potato fries. Literally, that's it. This is the way I like my fries. Because the outsides are always going to be kind of like chunky, you know what I mean? And so I'll place them on my tray. And I'll just keep going from there. And, you know, a lot of people will say, oh, it's so hard to make your own sweet potato fries. I literally just made sweet potato fries. Literally just made sweet potato fries, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and cut them down like this again. These are a little bit more chunky. Ooh, I like that one. And then I'm going to make them a little bit thinner. You can always cut these in half, guys, if you don't like them chunky like me. So, but this one's super thick. I'm going to leave that there because that's going to give me like sweet potato vibe. But this one's pretty thin, you know. And so I'm just kind of laying them on my tray. That's it. You can cut them in half so that they're not so chunky. So when you get to the point you want them a little bit, you know, see? Very easy. Sweet potato fries. Now, I love sweet potato fries and I love making them. The whole thing is that it's not enough space on my tray. And I've learned that you can kind of literally layer your sweet potato fries and they'll come out just as good. So I'm gonna cut these down, and that's gone. I'm gonna cut these a little bit smaller. All right, sweet potato fries. I'm gonna put these on my tray. Now my tray, you guys, this is my tray down here. This is the tray. See how I'm layering it on the tray? I'm going to layer these here on my tray. I'm also going to layer another stack on top of it because it's an oven. It'll get through. It'll be fine. So I'll get you guys the recipe for the fudge brownies with no sugar, no dairy. As soon as I'm done here, I'll put it in the description box so that you guys can have that. Again, I always suggest using the Yuka app and getting the best cacao powder that you can get for yourselves. So what kind of tray is that? So this tray actually came with the oven. I have a, what kind of oven do I have? It's a Smart Things. I believe this is a Samsung oven, and the oven itself actually has a dehydrator. It's got an air fry. It's got bread proof. It's got air bake, and then it has a regular oven option. I liked it because I'm going to go through that trust issue again. I have a trust issue with certain people and certain things. When you go and you get your air fryer, what is it made out of? Predominantly plastic. So when you're air frying your food and you believe that you're doing good by air frying your food, I believe that there is not going to be a moment where the leakage from the actual conduction of the plastic is not going to get into your food. And I'm sorry if I messed you up. But I do that a lot. I mess people up a lot because I have this thought pattern like, okay, this is made out of plastic, even if it's not within the entire unit, which it is most of the time, those fumes are going to get to my potatoes. They're going to get to my food. They're going to get to, and how healthy is it really going to be, you know? So, but that tray came with the with the unit, but you can actually call Samsung and order the tray. Like, they sell it separately, so you can always get your tray. And then the bottom part of the tray, I just got a bottom from, like, I think Walmart or something to put under it, so that if I did have something that dripped, it would drip right onto the tray. And that was it. So that's where the tray came from. The stove, I got the stove at Lowe's a few years ago. It's been a couple of years since I got this. I wanted this one. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but for my health and for the health of my family, there is really no price that we can pay. So, you know, hey Douglas, hey. So, that's the kind of tray that I have, Edison. All right, so we're just still cutting these sweet potatoes, and I'm layering them on top of each other because, you know, there's like no more space, and I'm fine with that. So later on, after the sweet potatoes are done, I will put a little bit of Saigon cinnamon on them. Now, Saigon cinnamon is really, really good for blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, the more Saigon cinnamon that you eat, the lower your blood sugar. Blood sugar will be. So it actually naturally lowers your blood sugars. So Saigon cinnamon, they do have these supplements that you can take for Saigon cinnamon. And also bourbon is really good. So if you have sugar issues and you want to get, you know, some natural ways of taking care of it, Saigon cinnamon on all of your sweets and things like that is going to be really good. And also bourbon will be good. The combination of bourbon and Saigon cinnamon is also very, very good. So, and that's usually what I use. I'm not diabetic, but I do have insulin sensitivity, and I feel it. It's not something that, you know, goes really, really high. It's just I feel this. You know, you ever had sugar and you felt like bad? Hi, Johnny. Hi. And oh my gosh, I'm going to tear this name up. Aurelian? Okay, I'm so sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but there you go. I did my best. So we're doing the sweet potatoes, and I'm getting ready to change over from a conventional oven to the air fry, which won't hurt the brownies. And again, I'll put the brownie recipe into the description box, you know, above when I'm done here with all of today's cooking. So again, my mother, Evelyn Thomas, she had her own cooking show on the DuPont Network. And she literally loved cooking. Like, that was one of her things. She loved sewing, and she loved cooking. I have a lot of different, like, vests and stuff that my mother made. And she made some clothing for my daughter when she was little, like her little nightgowns and stuff like that. So I still have some of that stuff. My mom, she kept everything. She kept everything. If you've ever given my mother something, I'm sure I have it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to change this to air fry. So I'm going to turn it off. Air fry is 425. That's why I want to start it at 325. So it's 100 degrees hotter now. We've layered the sweet potato fries, sweet potatoes. I've cut those up, so those are layered and ready to go. We're going to put this in the oven. And you can already, I'm going to show you what the brownies look like. You're going to be like, what? Yep. So, give me a second. I'm going to pull this out. Okay, so the brownies look like this. Wait, hold on. See that? They already have a layer of nice goodness on top. So that looks really good. So those will be done soon, especially with the air fry. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my wipes. Let's pick this up. I'm gonna wipe my stove down because we've been boiling stuff here and I got flour all over the place here. All right, So, burgers. Everybody loves to make their burgers. They love the burgers. You guys love burgers? Whether you like vegan burgers or whether you like the beef or chicken or even turkey burgers, the one thing that my mama always did was she dressed everything up. So there was a way to do a burger that, you know, she absolutely loved to do. And so we're going to go ahead and honor my mom. And I found some pictures that she had, that she used to sign her pictures. I found these. Look at that. It's my mama. So, kind of sad, right? Used to be that she would be next to me. Now I have a picture. It's okay. She left a legacy. She did a great job. So, it's a... So with air frying, there is no oil necessary. No oil. Thank you, Denise. Yeah, there's no oil necessary. I didn't put any oil in there. I just stuck it in the oven. I put oil in the base of the pie pan so that the brownie wouldn't stick, but there is really no necessity for oil. That's why it's so healthy for you. And that's why my olive oil lasts so long. So we're going to take an onion. I like the small onions. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cut off and get this onion kind of ready for the burgers. I never cut all the way down to the bottom. I always cut a little bit and I cut the back off. Keeps me from crying so much. This part here, really, I'm allergic to that, I guess. I don't know. I start crying and it's over. I can't do anything. I can't see anything. So we're gonna move that over. And then I'm gonna just take off, I like to take off the shell and then the actual layer under that, I like to take that off as well. And remember that when you are cutting an onion, use the entire thing or leave the part that you did not use in a, like, maybe in a saucer, because onions naturally absorb bacteria. And the moment that you cut an onion up, it absorbs bacteria in your house, whether it be COVID or cold, whatever the case may be. And the moment that you open it up, you only have a very select time to make sure that this is used before, you know, it starts to actually gather bacteria. So what I want to do is I want to get this, cut it all the way down. And as you've noticed, I haven't cried. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of chop this up. And no, I don't have a chopper. I'm trying to find like one of those metal choppers without the plastic on it because, again, there goes my trust issues with plastic. You know, I'm fine with plastic as long as it's not in my food. There's no plastic in my food, okay? So we're going to dice these up. I'm going to do the same with the other half. You don't really need a lot of onions on this recipe. You know, why is it sticking? So, here it goes. I'm just gonna go ahead and dice these. And if you've noticed, no tears. So dicing my onions up. All right. We're gonna go ahead and get the beautiful sauteed pan. And I'm gonna go ahead and scoop these onions right in here. The one thing you wanna do with your onions is you want to make sure that you prepare yourself to use these onions and to cook them down immediately. Again, they're already gathering bacteria. Now, one thing you don't want to do is gather bacteria in your food. You don't want to do that. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go ahead and take this and I'm going to put this on a low, very low sauteed heat with a little bit of olive oil. I love olive oil. I get the Sprouts olive oil because it Registers good on the Yucca scale. All right. And let's get let's go ahead and get a spatula. We're gonna go ahead and get a spatula. And we're gonna go ahead and saute these onions. Now the biggest thing about sauteing onions is I'm just gonna let that sit for a second while I grab my fresh basil. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab this fresh basil. Give me 1 second. And I broke my towel, but I didn't get you. Give me a minute. Let me go get my special spray. We gotta kill this fly. All right, let me get my spray. Hold on. Looking for the spray. Okay, found my spray. And now, the spray consists of a little bit of soap, eucalyptus essential oil. So I get the Now essential oil, that's what it is, and alcohol, 99% or 70, doesn't matter, and water. And so now he has no recourse. He's gonna go. All right, so as soon as I can find this fly, see, doesn't matter. I can spray this everywhere. You're gonna die now. Here he goes. Got the fly. Gone. Okay. Now that we've taken care of the fly and my house smells like eucalyptus oil, I'm really good to go. So we have the sauteed onions. That is going to be for the sauce for my burgers. Now, I'm going to take a few of these basil leaves off here. Let me take that off of the eye. I'm going to take a few of these basil leaves off. You don't want too many. Oh, but this is going to taste so good. I'm taking a few of these basil leaves off. And then this tree will go into my my windowsill. I'm taking just a few of these leaves. I'm gonna rinse these leaves off. I'm gonna put this inside of the actual saute. We're starting the saute, and that's gonna make everything just so aromatic, and it's gonna have, you know, that whole thing just going. I'm gonna put that back on the stove. Now, I'm a big component on sauce. I love sauce, but I don't like sugar. Remember that. So, I do have a jar, and I have some more of this. So we're gonna take, for the sauce for the burgers, we're gonna take some organic Jack's Cantina salsa, and we're gonna put that in here. So we're gonna take some of that. I love this stuff. I don't really measure how much, but remember, it's a sauce, so I really want that to kind of simmer in there. I don't want to overdo my sauce. I can already smell the basil. So we got the onions and the salsa dip, right? I'm gonna make a barbecue sauce. So barbecue sauce, the biggest thing about barbecue sauce is gonna be the vinegar kind of vinegar you use. There's two kinds of different vinegar that you can use. You can use the distilled white vinegar, which is usually what people use to make barbecue sauce. Today I'm gonna use that one because I really, really want the sauce to be like barbecue. If you use apple cider vinegar, that's fine too. You can use that as well. Oh my gosh, and it's sticking on my shirt. Okay, there we go. Molasses. So that is going to be the key with the barbecue sauce. I'm going to put some molasses in there. There we go.
Aroma.
Hey, babe.
I told Tyler to come over here. If it gets too hot, you come over here.
Okay. Well, I'm online. So say hello.
Hi.
So I'm gonna rinse that bottle off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of like do that. They're working outside right now in the loft, babe. You can tell them what you're doing.
We're doing a lot. Where's the camera? Oh. Okay. Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta wash my hands.
Okay. So
You do your thing.
I put some.
Man, that smells good.
Doesn't it smell good though?
Oh God.
Wait, I don't think I used enough molasses. I don't have that brown look yet. I might have to use some more molasses in there to get that brown look, because I really love the brown look.
Is that meat?
No, that's not meat. The meat's not even being done yet. I haven't even gotten to that part yet. So we're going to put some more, but you know what else we got in there, right? I'm going to put some more molasses. Look in the oven.
No, I gotta go.
You do?
I gotta Home Depot.
Oh, again? Okay. So we put a little more molasses. I'm really trying to get that caramel look. Okay, there we go. So with a natural barbecue sauce, with all of the stuff you're gonna have that brown. It's not gonna be like a brown look, but it's definitely, because you don't want to use too many molasses. But molasses is gonna be your friend. Now for the actual taste of barbecue, this is where it comes from. Distilled white vinegar. You're just gonna put some of it, just gonna pour it right up in there. And then you're gonna go ahead and mix this in and cook it down. That's what, oh, now that's the smell of barbecue sauce. I'm gonna put a little bit of rosemary in there too. I love rosemary in my barbecue sauce, along with a little bit of organic paprika. And remember, all of the products I use today are organic. You know, hopefully when soon I'll have a bunch of different things. I'm gonna put some Italian sauce and spices in there, a little bit of oregano and stuff in here. We're cooking that down. So there we go. And definitely today, I think what I want to do is I want to make a little bit of a spicy barbecue sauce. So I'm gonna get some chipotle and put a little bit of chipotle in there, not too much. And then that's going to be there. I'm going to put a little bit of turmeric in there, of course. Very good for you. It's boiling down. It's almost there. All right. Look at that barbecue sauce, guys. Look at this. Look at that sauce. That's the barbecue sauce I'm talking about right there. Look at that. So that's barbecue sauce, guys. If you ever wanted to make your own barbecue sauce, it is so simple and so easy to make. You don't need to go to the store to make barbecue to get barbecue sauce. You can make it at home. Remember, molasses, some kind of a tomato, whatever it is, and also some distilled white vinegar or some apple cider vinegar and whatever spices you like. And there you go, barbecue sauce. So this is going to be for the burgers. I'm cooking that down to make it thicker. Remember that oh my gosh, that smells so good. Oh, it smells so good. All right. We're going to put this in a bowl. And now that the fly is not here, I don't have to worry about this. We're going to put this in a bowl. That looks so good. Now, I'm not going to waste this at all. I'm going to waste this at all. So, there's two different ways that my mom used to make burgers. Let me go ahead and show you this barbecue sauce. Look at that. That is homemade barbecue sauce. A lot better than the store-bought barbecue sauce. Look at that barbecue sauce.
Nice, you blocked me.
I blocked you? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll be right back.
Forgot my phone. Forgot my phone.
Okay, sorry guys. This whole house smells so delicious. And it smells just like barbecue sauce. The barbecue sauce I just made from scratch. Look at that barbecue sauce. Now, the one thing I love to do, and I'm so sorry, is I love to taste my food. And that was the one thing my mom hated. And she really didn't like it. We're going to take a clean spoon. And we're just going to go ahead and... It smells so good. Mmm. 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 Perfect. Perfect. Barbecue sauce. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator. Well, you can taste that chipotle. You taste it. It's so good. Mmm. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in my windowsill and grow some more. I'm probably gonna end up potting it and putting it outside, making a big basil plant like I usually do in the wintertime. Then what I do after this grows, I dry it and then I crush it and I put it in a container and I use it as a spice. So very good all around. All right. Oh my gosh, that spice is just so good. That barbecue sauce. Delicious. All right, so now that we got the barbecue sauce and we got everything going, let me put my molasses and go ahead and clean up this particular one. Now my mom, she used to make her burgers with eggs. Now if you like eggs in your burgers, that's great. I personally don't like eggs in my burgers. I think it tastes too eggy, if that is a word. And I think that you don't really need eggs in your burgers, but she loved eggs in her burgers. She actually liked to cook an egg. If it wasn't in the burger, cook an egg and put it on top of the burger too. So that's something that a lot of people do. And actually that does taste good. I like it because it gives me the option to have an egg or not to have an egg. This here is going to be from Sprouts. Let me put this back in the refrigerator. Hold on a second. So I went to Sprouts today and I got the 3-pack. It's grass-fed organic ground beef. It's 85% lean and 15% fat. I like fat. So we're going to do fat. Hey, no problem, Denise. Thank you. I love you. You can watch the video later if you want to know anything else about what I'm cooking today. All right. So, all right. So let's go ahead and take care of these sweet potato fries before we do anything else. They look good. They look really good. They look like as if they're going to be great fries. I'm just kind of turning them around and turning them over. So I mean, right now, what you would have is the consistency of like sweet potato, mashed sweet potatoes if you took them out now, because they are ready. And the brownies are looking amazing. Okay, amazing. Hey. So the brownies look good. I'm going to show you what they look like, even though I know they're not ready. And see, the one thing about this is you don't have to worry about if it's going to fall or not. But look at that. It looks just like as if you would have just a regular brownie, brownie mix from the store. Except has none of the bad stuff that stuff has. All right. So let's go ahead and take care of the meat. All right. What I have here is, let's go ahead and, I don't like to have too many dishes. So we're just going to go ahead and wash this, what we use for the brownies up. Right, so we're pretty good here. Got a new towel. All right, we're gonna put the meat in here. Meat goes in here. Meat. So let's cut it and get that meat in there. Now again, they have meat alternatives that you can use. You know, there's Beyond Meat, there's Impossible, there's all different kinds of things. But I found though, I was on the Yuka app, the Yuka app. I didn't mean to do that. On the Yuka app, what I found was that stuff is not good for you. Nowhere near good for you. Like the Impossible burgers and all that stuff that they claim is supposed to be good, the Yuka app does not like that stuff. It actually has lots of preservatives and all kinds of different things that can cause cancer in it and everything. I'm sorry. So whenever I go and I eat any kind of burgers, I go for Dr. Prager's. It has a California burger, which is my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and use, there's the meat right there. I've already got my spices and everything ready. Now this is what most people would stop and say, oh, that's it. You're just going to do your burger, right? We have the spice cabinet, baby. And don't forget, we have the barbecue sauce. So this is going to be my nut coating. I want to make sure it's still good because I haven't used it in a minute. And I want to make sure that my nut coating, yeah, it's still good. If you are allergic to nuts, please do not use this. As a matter of fact, I haven't scanned this with the Yuka app. Let me see what's in here. Yep, it's good. All right, so I usually use the nut coating for my burgers and also for my, for any kind of like something I want like to be crispy or whatever. We're gonna take that barbecue sauce that we just made and we're gonna dump that in here. That's right. We're gonna dump that barbecue sauce. And the only reason why I put it in the refrigerator is so that when I get ready to do it, it's not gonna burn my hand. Look at that. Put that barbecue sauce right in there. Because these are barbecue burgers. The one thing I love about cooking from scratch is that you know exactly what I just did. Exactly what I just did. I use a salsa dip. It's organic. It's 100% organic, and you know that. So we're going to go ahead and mix that barbecue sauce right into this meat. And that way I have all my spices, all my herbs, everything's already there. I know exactly what I have in this barbecue sauce. And I know exactly what's going in there. I don't like sauces because you can overdo a sauce. You can over-exaggerate your sauce. You can, you know, sometimes when you get like stuff with sauce on it at the regular like restaurants and places like that, it's just no good. It's just no good. I think I'm not going to use this because I really don't know what's in here. I'm going to have to scan that and use that a little later. But what we did forget was a little bit of garlic. Gotta have some garlic. Garlic. I love garlic. So, yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and take out the cinnamon because sweet potato fries. Okay? So, we're putting that in there. We're mixing that in. We're getting ready to finish up this whole entire session of cooking, I guess, in honor of my mom with Yaya Diamond. Kind of changed. But Mom loved cooking. And she loved cooking everything. She loved cooking, you know, meats. She liked cooking ramen noodles, discount cooking, going to the store, picking up stuff that might cost, you know, a little bit less than whatever, $1 or whatever, for people who are going through college students and stuff like that. She loved doing that. So that's what we're doing today. So this is what it looks like. And we're going to cook that down, darling. We're going to cook that down. So I'm going to go ahead and, you got to back up on this. This thing is like, what? It's potent. I'm telling you, it's potent. You won't be able to put your face on it and you're going to get burned. Burned, I tell you, burned. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to be turning these fries. Got to make sure we turn the fries. Because if not, they're going to burn. They're almost ready for the cinnamon. Okay. All right. And now for the burgers. Now, the burgers, I do love olive oil burgers. That's going to be my downfall right there, but that's okay. You got to have some kind of a vice, right? It's got to be something. It's got to be something. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to make these burgers. Hey, I'm recording, so don't worry about me. But look at the food. You got to come over here. You got to see the food. This is Tyler, guys. And Tyler's here. He's doing some work outside. Look at that. Barbecue burgers.
Oh, my.
Homemade barbecue sauce, mind you.
Oh, my.
And then you got, look. And then that's the brownies. Remember the brownies?
The brownies?
The brownies.
What is doing
That's
this?
doing the brownies. I have brownies. So, yeah, I'm in here cooking up a storm. So, you okay outside?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that's Tyler, guys. Tyler, there's plenty of water in the refrigerator out in the garage, too. This is the bottled water. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and turn on low my stove. I'm going to make sure that this is coated. And we're going to make our burgers. Remember we made that barbecue sauce earlier? That barbecue sauce was so good. I just can't wait. Tyler, can you put this in the freezer? I think I'm going to have enough. Thank you. So I'm going to put my hands in there, guys. Sorry, got to make the patties. All right. So this is what it looks like. It's not appeasing because remember, we put the sauce in there. And it kind of looks funky because we put the sauce in there. But oh my gosh. Yeah, it's going to taste really good. So I'm going to put that in there. We're going to make 4 burgers. 4 quarter pounders. 4 quarter pounders. And make it so it looks pretty, nice and neat. Look at that. With homemade barbecue sauce. Okay? All right. And if you have missed any of what I'm doing today, just rewind. For the, actually I might have to make 5 because that's a lot I made. For the brownies that have no eggs, no dairy, no sugar, I will put the ingredients in there. I mean, you guys can probably figure out the barbecue sauce though, right? Yeah, that's gonna have to be like 5 burgers. Take this off the eye and let it simmer down a little bit. I got one more burger. Let me move something over. There we go. So I made 5 burgers with the 1 pound. Remember, because we got like the homemade barbecue sauce and stuff in there. So I guess those are called fillers, but all natural fillers. So we got that, and gonna make that burger right there. I'm pushing the onions inside so that they don't come off in the process of cooking. And see, there you go. Oh man, no. Hold on, I'm gonna move this over. There we go. All right. We got 5 burgers there. It's enough for everybody. Woohoo! Look at that. Kicking those burgers down, baby, down. All right. Turn that low heat. The smell, I wish you could smell it. I wish you could smell it. The one thing I don't do is keep I don't keep because this is stainless steel, and I don't want this to stick. And right now, the pot is, because it's at a certain temperature, it is non-stick. There's a certain way to do your pots so that they are non-stick naturally. And so I've turned that around. Let's look at the sweet potato fries. Because remember, we had this on a very, very high temperature. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cinnamon, going to cook that. Now, if you use Saigon cinnamon, remember, it's very good for your blood sugar. Take that off to the eye. Got no problem with this. This is not sticking at all. The burgers are coming out great. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect burgers, I'm telling you. Let's put that back on the stove. Let's turn that down a little bit. All right. We're almost done. So I know this took a long time, but if you were cooking and not talking and not explaining things, it would go a lot faster. But it doesn't go that fast when you're explaining stuff. Woo! Oh my gosh. Stay there. Ow. All right. Almost fell on the eye twice. All right. So, there we go. All right. So we got barbecue burgers. We got a dessert. We got sweet potato fries, which is, remember, sweet potato fries. I mean, okay, so I like my sweet potato fries in a different consistency. And they're almost there. If you want to, like, fry your sweet potato fries, you could. You can add a little bit of oil to yours, but I don't really like to add oil to mine. So, we're going to leave that in there, and we're going to pick out the sweet potato fries for now. We're cooking down these burgers. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take these fries. Put these fries in here and let them harden. They are delicious. Oh. Yeah. If you add oil to them, they get crispy. I kind of like mine softer. There are some really hard ones here. Like, there's also like potato consistency, like potato chip. This is good. So there they are. Perfect. The burgers are almost done. Turn that off. Oh. Stop it. All right. We got one more thing. Put the top over that so that nothing gets in there. We got the tray that you can probably get anywhere. The house is a mess right now. My kitchen is a disaster area, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hey guys. Hey Tony. All right guys. The burgers are ready. So we're going to go ahead and get these burgers out of here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Perfection. Ah. All right. So the burgers are ready. I want to make sure. Yep, they're beautiful. They're gorgeous. Nice and cooked and all cooked and ready to go. Seal those up. All right. We got one more thing that we are waiting for, and that is going to be the brownies that we started off with. Now, remember, the brownies take a long time to get ready because of the bananas, and so we're going to go ahead and check it out because I believe that when everything is done here, the banana what is it, fudge. I am just so distracted right now because this is just a mess. The fudge and brownies are going to be ready. So let's check it out and see if I'm right. Got to back up because this thing is hot, okay? All right. Oh my gosh. And there they are. This is ready. So, let's turn that oven off. The brownies are ready. The brownies are ready. The brownies are ready. Look at the brownies. Look at that. That is what you'll get. And underneath there is the goodness. It's still nice and soft. So it's still brownie consistency. The top is going to be a little bit harder. And we've just gone through an entire meal. And I got sparkles of grease on my lens here. But we've just gone through how to make your entire meal from scratch. Hold on. There we go. How to make your entire meal from scratch. I've just made lunch and I made brownies. The brownies literally will last about a week. The lunch is not going to last a day, but I made homemade barbecue sauce to go with it, along with some really nice sweet potato fries that do not have any oil in it. I think the only thing that really has the oil, and it's the olive oil, is going to be the burgers. I could have done them in the air fryer. I did not because we had the sweet potato fries in there, so I wanted to get everything done right away. But you can make your burgers and then put them in the air fryer and then, make them so that they just air fry, which is fine too. There are so many different things you can do, from scratch that it just doesn't take that long. I think that we have been accustomed and we're so how would I say, spoiled with processed foods. We need to get away from processed foods. We really do need to get away from processed foods. We need to begin to think about maybe buying our products and making our foods, staying away from sugar. I mean, the average person used to drink about a whole bottle of Coke every month or something. Now it's like really up. Please post your sauce recipe. Shalom, I gotta go. I'll post that as well. So the average person now is actually consuming over 2 pounds of sugar a year. I think that was like the national average a few years ago. So I think I'm kind of behind. I think it's gone up another pound or 2. So we're doing like 2 to 4 pounds of sugar a year. That cannot be healthy for us. Okay, so getting away from the processed sugar, getting away from the processed food, making your food healthy, making your food from scratch is going to be the best way that you can do it, and making it natural. Also adding a little bit of Saigon cinnamon and garlic to your food is going to bring your blood pressure and your blood sugar down. And if you need supplementation, that's going to help as well. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We got a whole different thing going on next time I come out. I'm not really going to be sure when that's going to be, but I will definitely be airing my mother's videos that she did for her cooking show, because she did a great job. I miss her very much. And so this is going to be me doing the cooking show with you. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different and tune into my podcast on Pot Ops. Yes. I should go this way. Pot Ops. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, guys. Eat well.